Hey everyone, it's Shay Seeking. And yeah, you know, I think I just wanted to come out and just have like I don't know, I just have a real like legit question. This ain't throwing no shade. This ain't saying or crushing on nobody and whatever works they are doing and what they have been doing. This is just me honestly saying, we know we Indians, and now what? We know we Americans, and now what? We know that many think that we are poor, but we are rich. And even I think about that in a sense, what is poor? Poorly educated. I mean, no, not educated. Okay. Poorly, or we lack knowledge. We'll say that. Okay. Of a lot of things. But now lots of us are awakening to lots of different things. And we're seeing things on different scales, and we're dealing with a lot of things um, when it comes to that. You know, there are lots of positive things that are going on within the people, and the movement always has to start within the people, not the person, not how over time they have given us one person to look up to per century, or well, not century, but you know what I'm saying, uh, decade or something like this, right? Where every decade there's one leader or something, right? So we're all becoming these particular types of leaders. And it's something that is happening or manifesting within our vessels on a massive scale, right? But others, everybody's on their own journey. Everybody goes at their own pace or speed. Um, we all have our cue cards at the end of the day. Sometimes it's harder for people to actually realize what's on it, right? Or things that are written on the heart or in the minds. We have to discern whether these things are organic or if they are not, right? What source are they coming from? We have to be able to use wisdom, knowledge, discernment, reason, logic, all these things. But, okay, now I'm saying that to say, now what? Because again, it still seems to me, and it just may be me because I'm always, seem to be the odd one out, the one, that uh, just, just within circles or groups, that's it's like, what's she talking about now? And I'm not saying that I'm like the only one. I'm just saying that I'm one of those, right? Because there's many of us that are misunderstood or misrepresented or um, many, a lot more than not, right? But I'm just always still wondering. Okay, so we have, certain groups that feel as though they have gotten things together to a certain sense where, they straight and who they deal with is straight. We have, the religious aspect, we have those who are passing knowledge and everything. So again, it's a beautiful thing, right? But again, I'm just always afraid that it still creates a division there. Like, there's less of a percent of those who have their stuff together than it is those who don't. And, that leaves a lot of people in the dark, lacking knowledge, you know, um, there's leaders in communities that are trying their best. And that's what I'm saying. There are people in their communities that are trying their best, that are doing more than even somebody, like me, you know. Um, but, you know, um, there are reasons why we're in these situations. Some of those things are things that happen to us, and some of these things are things that we do to ourselves because of false narratives, notions, and perceptions. So, what I'm saying is, now that we know this, and now that a small percentage of people have their so called stuff together, how do we relay that to the rest of the people that are not within our groups or cliques or online, circles? How do we get the people involved on a day-to-day basis, just average everyday people? What other things should we be focusing on? Because again, we're all like, okay, everything is, there's a lot of love and light going on. Everybody doesn't feel that all the time. And that, we shouldn't, because it's not like, oh, we know this and now everything is okay. No, there's still other steps. Again, sometimes I get drawn in from everyday aspects of this within the immediate community, um, because I'm just so deep in thought or something about other things. So, I'm really honestly just asking, because sometimes I feel like one of the most important things is for all of us to be on one accord when it comes to knowing that we are from this place. That, like, there needs to be like a, I feel like there needs to be like a campaign to, distribute that information, you know, um, just freely, just like a freely. And I'm asking you guys because I'm saying, would something like this work? If we can find someone to draw something up where we can um, display these things online and share them, where we can, pass out flyers or something. I'm just saying, get the people involved, because, as we know, the more that you find out these things and we get more intrigued by them, there's more people that come in, and those people usually have some kind of gift or something where they can, take a hold of this and turn it into some. So I'm just saying, new, fresh, you know, sorry, um, ideas, ways of passing information, and it's just, it's a beautiful thing actually to see it going how it's been going so far. Um, and then for, us to then start challenging ourselves to take accountability instead of looking to see what somebody's going to tell us next. You know what I'm saying, about what we're going to do. You know, us figuring out what we're not, like a center, like where can we have like a center where we may be able to say, well, hey, wait a minute, not us. you know to give people, that, like I said, may not have all of their stuff together at this moment, still a voice and some type of power, or authority over their selves. you know um as far as our communities, like, I don't know, I see, we talk a lot about things, but I never really see. And I'm asking you guys, because I'm thinking, are these things realistic? Are they out of hand? I mean, anything we put our minds to is realistic, right? It can come too. But, should we, instead of just always just only getting upset about certain things that happen to people in the community, should we start applying that same pressure when it comes to um, missing children in the area, or when it comes to uh, schools, or the way children may be getting treated in schools or something, or when it comes to not having grocery stores in our neighborhoods, and all of the liquor stores and the multiple fast food joints, because all of these things I feel, are, I wonder if they're, no, I know that they're contributing to the downfall of the health and wealth of the people. And so, I'm just honestly asking, like I don't know what everybody's doing. I don't claim to know what everybody's doing. I'm just wondering if anybody else has tried anything like this, because I know, when it comes to me, I can only talk about me. I find myself being tied into online communities, but that's not bad either, because a lot of people stumble across information. It opens up their mind and they go on to change other minds. You see what I'm saying? So just because someone is just a mouthpiece doesn't mean anything. That's just maybe where they stand, where they're comfortable, and that's what they deal with. But the more of us that know, like I'm saying, the more of us that know that we are from here and that we have work to do here, and that there are people that are here that have been able to alter uh, or change their status, or establish something um, through genealogy and all of these other things. um, you know I'm just wondering, should we be so upset about the liquor stores that are on every corner in our neighborhood, and the unhealthy food selections that are in our neighborhoods? And I was just driving through a place today where there's just people all outside, just you know uh, I feel like, and this is just not just our community, these are all communities. I feel like you never really, we hear people fight about rights for, um, your own personal preferences of things, um, you know, uh, like other rights. We won't even be specific. Um, Fighting for all of these things, but it just seems like there's not a big uproar about the things that really matter. And then sometimes, a lot of times we'll get a large uproar about someone being killed or harmed by at the hands of others. But when is it going to be a problem when it's at the hands of our own people? And that's happening more than it's happening at the hands of other people. And just, we're going to keep it layman here. We're going to keep it in layman's terms here today, because again, this is not it calling any shots. It's just, I'm just wondering, right? This is not directed towards anything at all. I'm just wondering, you know, if things like that are making it more, or truthisms like that are causing more harm, to us not acknowledging other things that are wrong, that can be faced, easily if we take accountability for some of these things. And that's not excluding me, you know. Um, so again, this is just me just asking, like, what else can we do now? Like, we have all the information, we have like some people that have already corrected their status. We have um, so many things lined up. I would like to think that it's all just a spiritual thing, and if we all just kumbaya and worry about our own selves and start to, because I know that that energy is contagious, and that's going to be, great. But I can't wait, I guess, to see the next steps, because I know that we're going to get there. I can't wait to see, again, I can't wait to even dig deeper within myself to see how I can be more of a presence when it comes to things like that and being involved in that sense. Um, you know, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering what else we can do, you know, as far as making sure that children are getting to school, safely. Um, Also, it seems as though like I just be thinking like, somebody knows exactly how to change the circumstances or lead the people and show them how to change the circumstances in the communities that are like that, but they don't. And but I guess you can't expect for them to do it. You know, these people in these communities will have to want to do it for themselves. It would be hard for people that even live outside of the community to come in and be able to do those things. I'm thinking like even, how did we come to the point where daycare is something that is done by perfect strangers? You know, a lot of people don't even have a choice. They may be low income or something, and their children have to go to certain places that they would prefer them not, but that's all that they can do. So I'm just thinking, like, um, what other things can we do? Like, focus on community based daycares, possibly with women that are from the community, running them, owning them. Um, when it comes to uh, police and policing certain neighborhoods, I'm just wondering these things. Would it be better if you know um, the police officers were from the actual community that they're policing and not from other places? Um, you know, it's just, I don't know. And the thing that bothers me, I think the most, like, you know, I feel like you know, could we possibly demand, that certain neighborhoods, every neighborhood or community has to have a grocery store? Like, these are things that we shouldn't even have to, because a lot of, low income communities have low income elderly people there, and they have to depend on a little corner store that doesn't always have the best selections or fruits and vegetables even. um, you know and that's what they have to depend on because it's in walking distance. Um, you know, I just wonder these things, or like a council that actually has opposing information for some of these things, that are being placed on the people that they really are not 100% aware of, or um, that they don't realize when it comes to certain things that are being promoted by you know certain groups. Because again, some of our people are rushing to go and do these things because they feel like, and not even to be funny. I noticed that in our communities, okay, that they are the ones that are most um, obsessed with the fear alone of this thing, this imaginary thing that's going around. Um, they're the main ones looking at you if you don't have that thing on your face, or the first one to say, "Oh, you better," and I just find that is so strange, because if you go into other communities and you don't have it, it's like nobody's even bothering you anymore. They're just like, "Oh, whatever, person don't have it on," and people just walk past and overlook you, you know. Um, but I notice in other communities, though, um, more diverse communities, or more, uh, middle class areas, uh, you don't have, I mean, you have more people that are out in public, though, that are wanting to have that thing on, and they may take it off for a second, but when somebody is passing by, they take it and put it right back on their face. you know but that's totally talking about something different than what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, that's it. you know um, that's it. I just wonder sometimes if these things would help us, because I feel like the poor, or whatever, middle class and poor, or certain so-called ethnic groups, the way that media plays on them is by taking the worst feared things or certain things and catapulting them in front of your face to tell you that these are the things that you should worry about. And when they do that, they definitely get a reaction from the people that has them in fear, in a state of fear. And that's like one of the top things that have been used on groups of people for a very long time, in order to gain control or establish other things. So, like an opposing awareness to certain things that we should be worried about in, when it comes to just the lives, I guess, of the people, all people, something more grassroots, right? Something more grassroots. And again, I don't have all of the answers. I'm just, maybe somebody else, I'm reaching out to see if somebody else has done, anything like this that's out of the ordinary. Because like I said, the main time we get reaction is when somebody else is harming one of our people, when we're given the perception that someone else is harming our people. We don't like to call each other out. It's almost like, one of your sisters or something. She might get on your nerves, and you go to your friend's house and say, oh, she get on my nerves, she did this and this and that. But as soon as they open up their mouth to say, oh yeah, she's a, you're like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. So, and that's not everybody. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just wonder, if anybody knows anything else, because, yeah, I feel like that we need to move on and be positive and all these other things, and the rest will come into play. But at the same time, driving through certain communities and neighborhoods, I see that, yeah, that's working. But again, most of us that are, getting aligned or, are connecting, we tend to, have already been, some of us have been shunned or moved into a place where we are dealing with, or rather deal with, or have no other choice but to deal with other like-minded people. And then we, circulate the information amongst us, and then, we might have a best friend that we can talk about those things, and, it may help them see things, and then they may, in turn help somebody else see something. But, how do we do this as if it was some kind of something else that we all needed to know, on a so-called national scale, and just start conversations, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm guessing I'm sitting here trying to see if we can start conversations, because I know people have these ideas, or they have these views or opinions. So again, what can we start? Because again, the summer, and I think that this is just coming to light because the summertime is coming up. So every one person can't do everything, but one of my cousins is a part of a group that I saw them do some cool things with young women, teaching them about hygiene, teaching them about planting stuff and things like this. This is something, again, that I would like to, well, more on a creative, artistic flow with younger women, getting them into different hobbies and things. Is what I would like to go into, art or whatever, something like that. And young men too. But I'm just wondering, like, it would be nice that in certain, if they call it the hood or the ghetto, if we can try to figure out where those places are and what we can do to offer something as a community center that's run by us, not anyone else. So I'm just asking you guys, for advice or to see if anybody else does something like this that can in turn give out some information that can help somebody else that may be, doing something like that. Because I know that they have lots of stuff, out there. And a lot of people probably don't even want the assistance or the help. But again, would it benefit us to have some type of center for our people in poor communities, or lower class communities? I'll say that. I don't like to use poor. Like a community unity center where people can, and is run by the people. That's the difference. So they have these things already, but is it run by the people? Are there women in that community center that are dealing with the children and activities, so that then they get familiar with faces in the community, and then their children go through and they come there, and then other women, and then they take turns, and then it's about like inclusion or something, and forming that unity where it's not just like, hey girl, when you passing by on the street, but you really getting to know each other and care about each other's children again, and not like be hating on each other, and that kind of thing, where there's no religious aspect behind it. There's no like educational something. Of course we would be teaching, okay, or sharing information or inspiring the children, and adults, right? And assisting, but encouraging, all these things. But I'm just saying there wouldn't be anything better than something that is run by us, that is for us, and building that sense of community that feels like it is dead and gone. So yeah, I'm just wondering if anybody has done anything like this. And because I think that once you go into getting all of these other assistance from other entities, that it starts to become desensitized. Like it's not a personal thing, It's there's all these rules and regulations that make it so, it has to be run this way. And most of the time, like I was saying, it seems like, the court system, well, we already know it was never set up for us. And even if it was, it's been manipulated to the fact that it really doesn't help to assist to protect children, especially, when it comes to this child thing, these services, the court with paternity and all that other stuff is a beast. And there's really no real interest in the children at all. It's trying to prove, we won't even get into that right now. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. But everything that they do, it goes against the protection of children. And that is for a reason. They want to traumatize and damage the children before they get to a certain age so that they can be defective. It is a way. It is a way to crucify generations before they even start. And all of that stuff, no matter which way you go, the mother and the child really don't matter. I think they're going too far with trying to prove that fathers, not all fathers, but the ones that don't want to be involved, are getting everything that they need, that don't want to put in their part, are getting everything that they need, but they're not thinking about the young women and the mothers that are being harmed or being, when it comes to abuse and things like that, I don't see it as being set up as to protect those children. They say, this is the way it is. You have to prove this or else, and we won't even get on that. Let's just stop. I'll do a whole nother video on that another time. But again, this is just a questioning video, and I'm just sitting here wondering, what else can we do? Because I think I'm just sick of, battling about information, not sick of hearing it and seeing it. I'm always interested in something new that I didn't know. But I'm just saying, thinking that this is the only way. And this is just me talking about me. This is just me talking about me. in media and things like that being used in order to arouse the people for things that, again, we get roused, we get upset about these things, we rant about these things. A couple days later, it's over. Nobody even remembers really what's going on from the trauma that was put on the people. And I never really see, I'm just saying, I've never really seen anything on a massive scale when it comes to, hey, people are protesting because there's no grocery stores in the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? Or even about missing children. You never see anybody saying protesting about missing children. And I just think that that's just weird a little bit, so I'm just asking, things like that. And then, not even like on the news, they don't even really talk about anything really good, actually. Everything it's just burning arrows being shot into the minds of the people. So, they might have like a heroic story or something, once in a while, but other than that, yeah. But again, once you look at what that term actually means, then you'll understand a little bit more as to what it's really set up to do. So anyways, enough rambling. Let me know. That's what I would want to know. I would want to know if anybody knows of anything that is run for us, by us, people in the lower class communities, okay, that can help assist in changing other things. I mean, even, like cleaning up, like things about like a weekly like cleanup or something like that. I'm just wondering because, a lot of people have given up and they think that none of this stuff will even work and that people don't even care, and it's true. Sometimes I feel the same way. But, I'm wondering if anybody has had any type of success with that. And I don't want to hear about what the state is offering. I don't want to hear about anything like that. I want to hear about what people have done, that may be inspiring or that may show us a way to start with some of these changes, because summer is coming up and I would like to see if we can do some things to change some things instead of hearing about more shootings and all this other stuff. Because again, once the community is united, it's still a thing. Like, we have these developments, we have all this stuff that's happening, we're waking up to so many things, but the unit and the more things we're waking up to, the more there is so much more micro managing of separation of the people, because we get into our interests, including me, and then we're still just we're just running still on a hamster wheel, but in our own, minds, or in our own way, or in our own, specialty, right? So again, just let me know what y'all think, and I will talk to you guys later.